Hello, and welcome back to yet another video. This is the 8th episode of a story in which 10-year-old Naruto meets Minato from future and that turns Naruto's life upside down. As Naruto lives a happy life in which he is trained by Minato and later Kushina too. After you've finished watching, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. To begin, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get the party started. The groups of Konoha's students found each other on their way to the gathering point in the playground. Hinata was a bit worried for Naruto since they lost in the market zone, but Shino convinced her that he would be alright. Kiba and Akamaru joined them after the dog boy visited his mother and sister. After the happy re-encounter, Tsume sent him back with his friends so he wouldn't bother his sister's training. Neji and Sasuke looked a bit winded. Their sparring match ended in a stalemate and they couldn't wait until their next encounter after they trained more. On their way there, Shikamaru and Shino introduced the Sand siblings to the other Konoha students. Tamari looked at Ino and Sakura with a smirk when she noticed the shopping bags they were carrying. She was about to make a sharp comment about them when she heard something from a woman who was passing there. "Have you seen that? There's a boy playing with Gaara. Somebody should come and warn him," said. Tamari faced the woman. "Who's that boy? Where are them?" asked in a bossy tone. Tamari-sama. He is a blonde boy with an orange jumpsuit. They are in the playground near the academy. You should, managed to say before the wind user headed towards said place. "What are you waiting for? Let's go," ordered. "She is even bossier than Ino," commented Sai. "I'm not bossy," protested. "Yeah, sure," thought everybody in unison. They arrived at the playground where they saw Naruto talking with a red-haired boy. They were so embedded in their talk that none of them noticed their presence. Naruto looked at Gaara and gave him a sad smile. "Because I know what you felt. I didn't lie when I said that you were a kid like me. You know, I also have a demon sealed inside me, the Kyuubi no Kitsune," said to Gaara sadly. None of the Jinka Arikis noticed that Naruto's friends arrived at the scene and heard the blonde's last words. Those Konoha kids who didn't know the truth were shocked at Naruto's words. Ino was about to talk when Shikamaru put his hand over her mouth, suggesting her to not talk. The blonde girl would have protested, but the look in Shikamaru's eyes told her that he was serious. Naruto and Gaara continued talking. "Wait a moment, wasn't the Kyuubi defeated by the Yondaime Hokage?" asked Gaara. "That's the official story, but no human being has the power to kill something like a Baijuo. The only way to stop it was to seal it in a newborn baby, with undeveloped chakra coils that would adapt to the fox's chakra," said Naruto. Gaara looked at Naruto with more interest. The Naruto's friends who didn't know about the Kyuubi were astonished. Before they could say anything, they felt that Shikamaru was using his shadow to lead them behind one of the play domes, so the Jinkarikis wouldn't notice them. "The Yondaime Hokage wanted me to be treated as a hero for keeping the fox at bay, but some villagers couldn't see the difference between me and the fox, while others were afraid that the seal wouldn't work properly. In order to protect me, the reinstated Sundaime Hokage created a law that forbade everyone to tell the truth about that night. The younger generations in Konoha don't know that I'm the container of the Kyuubi no Kitsune," said. Naruto's friends couldn't believe what he's talking about. Some of them thought that it was a prank, but things didn't go as the Hokage would have wanted. "The parents told their children to stay away from me and I had to live most of my life coping with the glares and the villagers ignoring me. I lost my parents in the Kyuubi attack, so I was completely alone. To gain attention, I turned into the class clown and I spend most time pulling pranks instead of working in my dream to be Hokage. I took a mask of happiness to hide my true emotions. The truth is that I wasn't as happy as I seemed," said sadly. Everyone minus Hinata and the time travelers were shocked. Naruto's behavior was only an act? A slight smile formed Naruto. "Things weren't so bad. During my years in the academy I managed to gain some friends in my class and the Hokage was always kind to me. That was one of the reasons I wanted to be Hokage. The owners of the Ichiraku ramen stand were also good with me. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't have them. Perhaps I would have freaked out," said with a warm smile. Kiba, Kuji and Shikamaru felt touched by his words. Hinata felt guilty for not befriending Naruto earlier. Naruto now looked in a better mood. "Then one day things changed for better. My father came back. He couldn't be with me during my childhood for reasons beyond his power. We established as a clan and he began to train me. One day he told me the truth about the fox sand." "Wait a moment. You didn't know that you had the fox sealed in you?" asked Gaara. "No, why?" asked Naruto. "Does this mean that he can sleep?" asked Gaara to himself. "Never mind. Continue," said Gaara. Naruto continued with his story. "What were I talking about? Oh yes. My father told me about the fox and apologized for choosing me as the container of the fox. Then Hinata appeared and convinced me that I was not the fox, and she became my best friend. I got more friends, more precious people. Some of them also know about the fox, but they don't care about it. Now I'm keeping with my dream to be Hokage, but now I don't want to be Hokage to be respected. I want to be Hokage to protect my precious people and everybody in the village, said Naruto. Naruto then told Gaara about his friends, bringing out their virtues. Said friends were touched by Naruto's words. Hinata felt very happy to be considered a precious person by Naruto and his best friend. She was worried about how the others would react, but she decided that she would be supporting Naruto. Neji reminded when Naruto's father told him that he knew what his father Hiashi felt when he condemned his son to bear an unwanted seal that would mess his life. Comparing the caged bird seal with Kyuubi seal was ridiculous. Naruto had a worse fate than him, but he was defying it with a smile. Sasuke was reflecting about Naruto's life. He was betrayed, but he didn't choose to take revenge. He wondered himself if the Kyuubi was the source of Naruto's power, where finished Naruto's own power and where started the Kyuubi's. Kiba finally realized why his mother told him to keep his mouth closed and don't tell anybody when he commented her that Naruto had a scent similar to foxes. He felt undignified the lack of loyalty of the villagers to their former leader. Kuuji reminded when other kids didn't want to play with him because he was slow and fat. At least he had his parents and Shikamaru before joining the academy, but Naruto didn't have anybody. He realized how lucky he was. Shikamaru and Shino were told about Naruto's tenant in their timeline, but they never heard about Naruto's previous life. One would have thought that Shino would feel identified with Naruto because Aburames were also avoided and had other beings living in their body, but it was false. Aburames never felt what was loneliness because their personal swarms gave them enough company and they were a very tight clan. Haku was the one who identified better with Naruto. He knew very well how it was being hated because something that you don't have any control. Sakura and Ino were in the verge of tears by Naruto's story. They reminded how they insulted Naruto and told him that he was a loser. Sakura told to herself that she would accept to go out with Naruto the next he asked. I thought he ceased his requests weeks ago. Tenten only knew Naruto since some days but realized that this boy would be a worthy friend. Lee had waterfall tears in his eyes and promised himself to keep on with his dream of being a good ninja only with taijutsu and to be a worthy rival for such a youthful person as Naruto. Temari and Kankuro saw that perhaps Gaara wouldn't have turned like that if they had supported their younger brother more. They were hoping that Naruto's words would have the same effect in their brother that their fight had in their timeline. Sai's expression didn't change, but now he felt more divided between his loyalty to Danzo and his blonde friend. At the end everybody vowed to themselves to support Naruto, no matter what the others thought. At least until the part where Naruto began to tell Gaara about their defects. Gaara didn't say anything. This boy's life was too similar to his but different in other points. Gaara decided to tell Naruto about him. My story is a bit different from yours. My father, the Namikaze Kage, decided to turn me into weapon. Suna had the Ichibi sealed in a special pot. He ordered to seal the Baiju in me, with my mother used as the sacrifice needed for the sealing process, said Gaara. What? Your father killed your mother only to have a weapon? Exclaimed Naruto furious. The others were also furious. Temari and Kankuro reminded their mother sadly. A disturbing smile appeared in Gaara. Yes. But I didn't turn into the weapon my father wanted. I happened to be very unstable to be a proper weapon. Everyone was afraid of my powers, even my siblings, and soon there were assassinations attempts on my life, some of them ordered by my own father, said Gaara. Naruto and the Hidden Ones were shocked. How could a father do that against his own son? The Sand siblings felt ashamed of their father and looked to other way, but the spirit of my mother protected me with the Sand shield and protected me from any harm. Then came that night when my own uncle tried to kill me and I realized that I had to kill to prove my existence, said Gaara with the smile of a psychopath and releasing some killing intent. Yes, show him our true face, make this fool realize who is dealing with and then kill him, exclaimed Shukaku in Gaara's mind. Naruto didn't say anything, the others were terrified. See these bags under my eyes? They are from my lack of sleep because a mere nap would unleash the monster that is sealed in me. This gave me a lot of free time to meditate about my existence and to talk with my mother about the best way to punish the world, said pointing to his eyes. Surprisingly Naruto rushed to Gaara. The Sand Jinchuriki expected that his sand shield would protect him, but it didn't work. Instead of attacking Gaara, the blonde boy hugged his fellow Jinchuriki. The sand shield was an almost perfect defense, able to protect Gaara from all points to anything that would harm him, including those who were scared or were hostile to him. But it looked like that it didn't work against those who grieved for Gaara. I'm so sorry, Gaara. I never thought that somebody could have a worse life than mine, said Naruto. Gaara was shocked. This boy was really pained for him? Shouldn't he be afraid or hate him? The sand shield should have worked. What are you waiting for? Kill him, screamed Shukaku. Gaara ignored him. It was the first time that he was receiving a hug and the feeling was completely alien to him. Gaara felt how the inner pain he was feeling during all his life diminished. Naruto broke the embrace and looked at Gaara. I don't know what would happen to me if I didn't have somebody who cared for me. Gaara, don't give up. There must be somebody who cares about you. You only have to look around and you'll find them. They will give you a better reason to prove your existence. Then you could prove this village that you are not a monster, but somebody who will protect them from harm with your powers, said with a warm smile. Gaara was about to tell him that there was no one who cared for him when they felt two presences behind them. They turned and saw Temari and Kankuro looking at Gaara with tears in their eyes. The older siblings rushed and embraced their little brother as Naruto did before. The sand shield didn't react. Gaara. I'm very sorry. I should have been there for you. But I was a coward and stupid and didn't see beyond the beast why you held. At first I hated you because I blamed you for Kasan's death. But it wasn't your fault, now I realize that. I hope that you would forgive us someday, babbled Temari between sobs. Same goes for me, Gaara. We don't care anymore if you have a monster or not. We are a family and we will be there for you. We won't betray you. Please, Gaara, give us a chance to be your siblings again, asked Kankuro in their hideout. The Konoha students were doing their best to contain the tears minus Shikamaru, who was using the cage main to contain Lee, who wanted to join the Sand siblings in their youthful display of fraternal affection. Gaara was confused. His sand shield didn't work with them neither? This should impossible. A part of Gaara, the killer who wanted to satisfy Sia's mother, said him that they were lying, that they were trying to take him off guard. But there was another part of him. The little boy who wanted to play with the other kids only to be rejected, the boy who trusted Yashamaru only to be betrayed. Gaara thought that this boy died the night that Yashamaru tried to kill him and revealed that he always hated him. Gaara then realized it. Was it the reason because he never could touch Yashamaru? Because he hated him? But his siblings could do it now. Perhaps it means that they really don't trust them. They are lying to you. Believe me. I'm the only one who was with you all your life. They are going to hurt you again. Show them how we treat traitors, demanded Shukaku. Gaara didn't know what to do. Trust them and take again the risk of being hurt? Or hurt them before they could hurt him first? Seconds later he broke the hug and looked at his siblings and Naruto. I need to think about this. Meet me tomorrow in the outskirts of the village and I will give you my decision. You can come too, Naruto said before leaving in a swirl of sand. Naruto was now alone with Temari and Kankuro. You are Gaara's siblings, don't you? Asked the short blonde. Yes, we are. Thank you very much, Naruto. You don't know how much you did for us and our younger brother, said Temari. You were sincere when you told that to Gaara, don't you? Because if you lied I'm going to tried to say Naruto. Don't worry brat, we were sincere. We want our little brother back, said Kankuro. Hey! Who are calling brat, you clown? You took your sister's makeup and walks with the cat pajamas. Who's the brat? Teased Naruto. What? This is war paint. And my sister doesn't use makeup. Haven't you seen that she is a tomboy with an oversized fan? Exclaimed Kankuro while he started to wrestle with Naruto. Temari joined the fight. Me a tomboy? How you dare to question my femininity? Exclaimed the angry wind mistress. Meanwhile the Konoha students were ending to process the secrets they had discovered recently. Who's Naruto? Asked Ino. The others also had this question in their minds. Shino responded her. Naruto. He is our future Hokage. A leader worthy of the title he will have someday. Nothing else, said the Aburame. They realized the truth in Shino's words. Each one of them decided to help their future leader as much as they could on his way to Hokage. They took the chance now that Naruto was busy and got out from their hideout. Hello Naruto, I see that you met Temari and Kankuro. Care if we join you? Asked Shikamaru. No, you are welcome, said Naruto while he made a headlock to Kankuro. The fight turned into a battle royale that lasted some minutes. At the end they came back to the hotel a bit brushed but happy. None of them knew that the Kazekage watched Naruto's talk with Gaara on his crystal ball. An evil plan formed in his head. It was time to test his new genjutsu technique on his weapon. With Arashi after leaving some clones with the Hokage, Arashi was having a walk with Hiyashi, disguised as Hisashi, Kuza, Inoiki and Shikaku looking for a good place to drink. Unfortunately, Suna's laws forbid local stores to sell alcohol because it was very unhealthy in a place with a climate like Suna's. They were approached by a man who looked like a merchant from water country that promised them the best smuggling sake from all elemental nations. In normal circumstances they would have refused to acquire bootleg goods, but the trio told to themselves that they were not doing anything bad, they were just going to acquire something that was completely legal in their village. Arashi and Hiyashi came with them just to make sure that they wouldn't get into problems. They headed to a clothing store that had a clandestine tavern in the basement. Most of the customers were locals, but there were also ninjas and civilians from other villages who came to see the Chunin exams. After having to pay twice for their drinks, they joined one of the poker games that were being held there. They lost and won in a 50-50 percentage until a group of 4 Cloud Nins joined the game. The younger ones were obviously Jinan students, while the older one was their Jonin sensei. It looked that he brought them there after a training session. 2 of the students had a very tan skin and probably were brother or sister, while the other student was a very attractive girl that was in the way to become another Tsunade. You know what I mean, their sensei was a tall, dark-skinned man with a strange tattoo in the face, sunglasses and an afro hairstyle. Said man won all the games with extremely lucky hands, nor Shikaku with his technique to count cards could get a victory from him. The drunken trio finally snapped when the Cloud Nin got his 5th poker ladder. Enough. I don't know how you do it, but it is obvious that you were cheating. Admit it, exclaimed Kuza. How you dare to accuse me of cheating? Nobody insults the man in lives, exploded the Cloud Nin, drawing a pair of swords. The group of ninjas prepared for the typical tavern brawl when the owner of the tavern and Asuna Jonin intervened. Look, we won't let any fights in this place. You are in Suna and you must respect our rules, said the Jonin that Arashi identified as Baki. Baki looked at the foreign nins. If you can't prove that you were cheated and if you think that your honor was offended, then you should resolve this with duel at dawn, as we do in Suna for this type of problems. A fight between the strongest ninjas of each group would be the best choice, said, pointing at the groups. The Konoha nins looked at Arashi while the Cloud Nins did the same with their sensei. Fine, said Arashi, it will be interesting. So, you are the one who will feel my stings, eh? Who are you, by the way? Asked the Cloud Nin. Arashi Uzumaki, the Black Angel of Konoha and part of the Hand of Death, responded Arashi, offering his hand. So this is the famous Black Angel? He wants to scare me with his name? He doesn't know where he is getting into, thought the other man. The Cloud Nin tightened Arashi's hand and smiled. Killer Bee, Master Swordman and the guy who will kick your ass tomorrow later in Kazekage's office. What do you want, Kazekage? Asked Gaara to the man who messed up his life. Suddenly he felt how his mind was bombed by a foreign chakra. In other circumstances the Ichibi would have used his chakra to free Gaara from a genjutsu, but he changed his mind when he discovered the purpose of the Kazekage's specific genjutsu. Very well, son. What are you going to do tomorrow? Asked the Kazekage in a sly tone. I'm going to kill Naruto Uzumaki to prove my existence, exclaimed Gaara. After a quick breakfast, Naruto headed to the outskirts of the village to meet Gaara, his siblings. Unfortunately the redhead didn't specify in what part of the outskirts they would meet, so he would be making circles around the village walls until Gaara appeared. He saw that some people were gathering for some kind of special event near the eastern gate. Naruto supposed that Gaara wouldn't be with the crowd, and the crowd wouldn't want to be near him, so he deducted that Gaara would be near the western gate and headed there. If he bothered to get near the crowd to see why they were there, he would have seen the incoming duel between his father and the Raikage's brother. His suspicions were true when he found Gaara and his siblings arriving at the outskirts near the western gate, but something was not right with his fellow Jinchuriki. Temari and Kankuro also saw this. Since they met Gaara there a few moments ago, they noticed that he was spreading more killing intent than usual. Hello, Gaara. Are you alright? Why are you looking at me like that? Asked Naruto. Before he could say anything else, a wave of sand attacked him. If it wasn't for the fact that he knew that something was wrong with Gaara, Naruto would have been captured by his killer sand. Gaara. What are you doing? Asked Naruto. I'm going to kill you, mumbled Gaara with a wicked smile. He threw a pair of sand shurikens at Naruto that were blocked by Temari's open fan. Gaara. Why are you attacking Naruto? He's your friend, for Kami's sake, said the Wind Mistress. Kankuro and Temari were now between Naruto and Gaara, ready to defend the former. Little brother, I don't know what's going on in your head, but as your older siblings we have the responsibility to stop you to do the biggest mistake of your life, said Kankuro, unsealing his tree-eyed puppet while Temari opened her fan. Really, you think you can stop me to prove my existence? Remember, where are we fighting? Laughed Gaara. 2 huge sand claws formed beneath Temari and Kankuro, Before they could do anything, they were caught and pinned against the village walls. Gaara. They are your siblings. You shouldn't do this. Do you want to become the monster that the villagers think that you are? Reasoned Naruto. Gaara didn't respond and turned his arm into a clawed sand arm. Naruto then noticed that Gaara's eyes were too fixed, like he was in trance. During last months, Naruto took very seriously his training to detect and counter genjutsu, that included discovering when another person was under a genjutsu. Somebody must be using him. But who in Suna would want me dead? I must. Before Naruto could do anything, Gaara attacked him with his sand claw, elongating it, catching the blonde completely off guard. With Arashi, the ex-Kage got on guard annoyed. He didn't expect to get this audience in his duel against Kirabai. After last day's incident, word about the duel spreaded fast and reached the ears of the Kages. The Sandaime Hokage, the Namikaze Kage and the recently named Godime Raikage were in a stand with parasols as spectators. The worst part was that his adversary happened to be the Raikage's younger brother. If Arashi killed or crippled him, he would cause a diplomatic incident. He could let his adversary win, but it would let Konoha in a bad place, and he was too proud to give the victory to what he thought an inferior adversary. He decided to lengthen the fight for a few minutes and then knock out his adversary after causing the impression that they were matched. Hey Blondie, I think I won't fight at my full potential. These people came to see a good fight and I should let you show off a little before I kick your ass, said Kirabai. Arashi's sweat dropped. I'll even let you give me the first hit, said Kirabai, exposing his chin. Arashi moved at high speed, placed himself behind the Cloud Nin, and literally kicked his ass. I highly recommend you to fight seriously, said Arashi with a serious tone. Kirabai disappeared and appeared behind Arashi. The Konoha nin barely dodged the axe kick that his pissed adversary delivered. Everyone minus the experienced nins were astonished. They thought that Kirabai was a loudmouth, but looks are deceiving. The bragging disappeared from Kirabai. Very well, Blondie. It looks like I wouldn't have to hold back against you, said smiling. Me neither, responded Arashi with another smile under his mask. He will enjoy this. With Naruto, the claw stopped only a few inches from Naruto's face. Kage Mei no Jutsu, success, said Shikamaru. We made the right choice following Naruto. I really hoped that he could change Gaara without violence this time. It looks like Gaara will have to be beaten to sense again. What a drag, thought. Naruto saw that the Nara, accompanied by Shino, Kuji, Hinata, Neji, Sasuke, Haku, and Sai. Gaara noticed that his shadow was caught by Shikamaru's and tried to move. Naruto! Move out, I wouldn't be able to contain him longer, exclaimed. Naruto reacted and jumped towards his friends. Gaara is under a genjutsu. We must free him before he hurts anyone, said Naruto. We could free him with pain or focusing our chakra into his body, commented Sasuke. The problem is that it is almost impossible to get close to him with his defenses, said Kankuro, trying to get free from the Sandclaw. I have a plan in mind. Naruto, do you have with you one of those new seals you created? Asked Shikamaru while holding Gaara. Naruto understood what Shikamaru had in mind. Unfortunately, he didn't have any of them. No, but I can make some of them if you give me enough time. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, said Naruto while he created 24 of clones who prepared to attack Gaara. I see. Neji, Hinata, use your chakra-infused strikes to free Kankuro and Temari. The rest attack Gaara from different angles, said Shikamaru. Meanwhile, Hinata and Neji use their chakra palm strikes to free the Sand siblings. I never felt such a killing intent in my life. I must be brave like Naruto-kun, thought Hinata while she managed to destroy one of the fingers. The others had similar thoughts, but they swallowed their fear and attacked. If I want to defeat him, I must survive this, thought Sasuke. Katen, Hosenka no Jutsu, fire style art of the phoenix flower, exclaimed Sasuke while multiple fire projectiles from his mouth attacked Gaara. This is not the best place for my techniques, but I think that water will interfere with his sand, thought Haku. Suten, Suigaden, water release, water fang bullet, exclaimed while water projectiles attacked from the opposite direction than Sasuke. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken shadow clone technique, exclaimed Naruto's clones while they threw shurikens that turned into thousands of them. Sai didn't say anything while he created some drawing that charged at Gaara. Shino and Kuji didn't have range attacks that would help, so the only thing they could do was assisting Neji and Hinata. All attacks made hit in the immovable Gaara, followed by cloud of smoke and sand. The Konoha students who attacked looked at the smoke hoping that their combined attack was a success. Meanwhile, those who were freeing the Sand sibling managed to destroy the Sand claws. Temari and Kankuro got on guard. Be careful. Your attacks were good but not enough to harm him, said Tamari. Her words were confirmed when the smoke dissipated and saw Gar with an even more psychopathic face and half his body covered by a horrific sand armor that gave him a monstrous appearance. The Konoha students began to fear for their lives. In other part, Lee, Tenten, Kiba, Sakura and Ino were watching in amazement the combat between Naruto's father and the Cloud Nin with the weird haircut. Both opponents didn't use any form of ninjutsu, kenjutsu or genjutsu, it was a pure taijutsu match. Guy watched the opponents with waterfall tears in the eyes, impressed by the youthfulness of the fighters. Both opponents moved at great speed and their taijutsu was impressive. It looked that Arashi was taking the advantage. He was slightly faster than Kirabai and more experienced in taijutsu, but Kirabai didn't look to be affected by Arashi's hits. Same happened the counted times that Kirabai managed to hit Arashi. With an spectacular maneuver, Arashi managed to deliver a flying kick to Kirabai's neck, knocking him down. The watchers put their hands over their necks, gasping at the severity of the blow. They looked dumbfounded when the Cloud Nin got up and moved his neck like he was doing some warm-up exercises, like he wasn't affected by the blow. What is this guy made with? Iron? He is the most durable man I saw since Naruto's future self, thought Arashi. Be careful, it is obvious that he didn't get the Jonin for being the Raikage's younger brother. There's something familiar in him but I can't specify it, said Kushina. Kirabai fixed his afro hair with a comb and smiled at Arashi. Not bad. If felt those hits, especially the last one. But unfortunately for you, my specialty is not taijutsu. Have you asked yourself why I have 7 swords? Said while he unsheathed his swords. With a quick movement, Kirabai was on guard, handling 7 swords at the same time. The Cloud delegation chuckled. Now that Leaf Nin will find out who is his adversary. Arashi took the pair of 3-pronged kunais that he used for head-to-head combat. The veteran Suna and Cloud Nins paled at the sight of those weapons with tags, reminding what they heard about the yellow flash of Konoha. Arashi focused wind chakra into the kunais, giving the one of his right the reach and form of a long sword and the kunai on his left the reach of a dagger. Damn it, that is wind chakra. Focusing lighting throughout my blades wouldn't give me advantage, thought Kirabai. Are you going to need a hand? Asked a voice inside his head. Not yet, I want to see how good is this guy with his toys, responded Kirabai. Before Arashi could see it, Kirabai rolled towards him, cutting everything on his path with the blades. Arashi only could dodge him in the last moment. Then Kirabai spinned on himself like a top, turning into a hurricane of blades. Arashi responded quick attacks that ended with pieces of Kirabai's swords falling to ground. But Arashi didn't manage to end unharmed. People could see some minor cuts on his arms caused by Kirabai's attacks. Tenten looked at them with stars in her eyes. She never expected to see such display of weapon skill. Arashi made a jump upwards and stopped in midair. He shortened the length of his weapons to their normal size, using the wind chakra only to sharpen them. Those who were not from Konoha looked at Arashi impressed. The Sunanins were green with envy, especially their leader. So, it is true that he can fly. I must get his secret. That power should belong me because I'm the Kazekage, thought. In various alternative realities, for not apparent reason, all the Sasuke sneezed at the same time. Hey, you! Come down here and face your blades with mine, exclaimed Kirabai. You want my blades? Okay, here you have, said Arashi while he threw the kunais charged with wind chakra to Kirabai. Kirabai dodged them in the last second. The kunais made a pair of holes in the ground where they disappeared. Now he is disarmed. What is he going to do now? Thought the Raikage. Arashi then made a pair of odd-handed signs and the kunais that he threw before appeared with a small poof of smoke on his hands. The tags of the handles must let him summon the kunais. So it is true that he is also a seal master, thought the Kazekage. Arashi focused wind chakra in the kunais, giving them the reach of short swords. I bet that you won't resist what I'm going to do next, taunted Arashi while he prepared a technique that Naruto suggested him. Suddenly, Arashi flew towards Kirabai at great speed, spinning on himself with his blades over his head, with the obvious intent to drill his adversary with them. Hey, that reminds me the Gotsuga, thought Kiba. Aerial drill, shouted Arashi. Dodge it, exclaimed the Raikage. However, Kirabai took Arashi's defy and tried to block the attack with all his blades at the same time. The clash was brutal. It raised a lot of sand and dust caused by the spinning effect. When the dust dissipated, they saw Arashi stabbing Kirabai in the shoulder with one of his kunais while Kirabai's swords were in the ground completely destroyed because the brutality of Arashi's attack. I must recognize it, you are better than me with weapons. If I didn't have the advantage of the wind chakra I wouldn't have a chance. You are wounded, please give up, the match is over, said Arashi in a polite tone while he removed carefully his weapon from Kirobai's wound. To his surprise, Kirobai began to laugh. "I must recognize it, you are the strongest adversary I've fought since my brother. I didn't enjoy a fight like this in ages. But the fight is not over. Now I'll show you a part of my true power," said the Raikage's brother. I never expected that he would use it. I think that I would have to intervene, things go lost of hand, thought the Raikage. A powerful chakra began to appear and surround Kirobai. The magnitude and belligerence of that chakra overwhelmed everyone. The Cloud Nins hoped that Kirobai would keep in control. Last time Suna that Nins felt a chakra like that was the last time that Gaara took a nap. Last time that Konoha Nins felt a chakra like that was the night of the Kyuubi attack. It can't be. He is, thought Arashi, unable to finish the phrase. Kushina reminded when Naruto used the power of the Baijuu sealed in him in their original timeline, a Jinchuriki, finished her. Her words were confirmed when the smoke dissipated and saw Gaara with an even more psychopathic face and half his body covered by a horrific sand armor that gave him a monstrous appearance. The Konoha students began to fear for their lives. Kankuro was the first one to react and unsealed his other two puppets to join Karasu, Kuro. Kurori, Black Ant, and Sanshao, Salamander, appeared before the middle Sand sibling, ready to defend his master and allies. So, it is true that he can handle more than two at the same time, thought Shino. Everyone. Use only range attacks, don't get near him or he will crush you, exclaimed Tamari while she unleashed a tornado towards Gaara. Gaara countered with a sand avalanche that nullified the tornado. Range attacks? Fine, thought Neji. Hizashi, exclaimed the Hyuga prodigy. The sand shield reacted on time but it was pierced by Neji's attack. The chakra ray made hit on Gaara's chest making him retreat some steps. Yes, it worked, thought Neji proudly. They saw that there were some cracks in Gaara's chest, but he didn't seem affected by the attack. It's his sand armor, explained Tamari. Although his sand shield couldn't surpass your technique, it managed to weaken it enough to let the sand armor protect Gaara efficiently. Meanwhile Kankuro's puppets, Naruto's clones, Sai's drawings, Shino's bugs and Sasuke's cat and clones attacked Gaara while the others regrouped behind Sanshao's shield. Shit. We need something with more offensive power to damage him. Naruto, how are things with the tags? Asked Shikamaru to the busy blonde. Done. Quickly, take them and attach them in your kunais, but please don't aim at the vital areas, said Naruto while he handed the tags to his companions. You created explosive tags? That's impressive, commented Kankuro. They are not explosive, just use them, said Naruto. They nodded and threw the kunais. Just in the middle of the trajectory, the tags blew sparks and, with a sharp sound, the kunais were impulsed at blinding speed at Gaara. The sand shield was surpassed and most kunais made hit on Gaara. Those that hit his monstrous half were embedded there without arming Gaara, but some of them made hit in the parts and the human half and managed to pierce the sand armor, as testified the small drops of blood where the kunais were embedded. Incredible. Those tags augment the speed of the kunais, increasing their power exponentially. Even with my Sharingan I had problems following them, commented Sasuke. Naruto got the idea to create those tags after the attempt on his life months ago. He fought some missing nins while one of his father's clones was watching, ready to intervene if things turned bad. Naruto wanted to impress his father creating an explosive tag on the field and using it. Unfortunately the tag didn't work properly and instead of releasing the explosion in all ways, it released the explosion in an only way, propelling the kunai at supersonic speed without control, destroying the Arashi clone who was with him. After that incident Naruto took his apprenticeship in the art of sealing very seriously, expending more clones in that task. He realized that he could create a new type of offensive seal using the wrong one as the base, he only had to make sure that the explosive force was expelled in a straight line. After weeks of experiments with clones he managed to make his idea a reality. His father congratulated him effusively when he showed him the new seal and let him have all the ramen he wanted for that day. Tucci bought a new TV after that. Did your father taught that? Asked Hinata impressed. No, they are my original creation, he, said Naruto with a goofy smile. What? No way. I know that you learned a lot from your father, but to the point to create by yourself something like that, argued Sasuke. He is saying the truth, interrupted Neji after seeing Naruto's facial features. This new seal is a formidable weapon. Danzo-sama would give his arm to have the secret of the seal in his hands. But then he wouldn't have hands to have the secret, thought Sai. Before they could keep talking more about the seal they were attacked by a wave of sand that Haku barely blocked with an ice barrier. It took me more chakra than I expected. This is not the best environment for a nice user like me, thought. Focus. We didn't win yet. It looks that we are going to need anything more than pain to free him from the genjutsu. Because he is not aware of what he is doing, he can't free himself, stopping his chakra flow. The only way left to free him is introducing foreign chakra into his body, said Shikamaru. If Neji-san and me manage to approach him, we could use our Jukin to infuse him chakra, proposed Hinata. No, it's too risky. We don't know if your attacks would be able to surpass his sand armor, said Shino. Gaara, now fully covered by sand, charged at them roaring. He tried to smash them with a huge sand claw that they barely dodged. Naruto threw at him an army of clones that tried to grab Gaara. The Hyugas noticed that the clones had explosive tags on their backs. Gaara formed a sand cocoon just before the clones reached him. The tags in the kamikaze clones exploded in a quick succession, releasing a smoke cloud. When it dispelled, they could see that the cocoon was destroyed, but Gaara was completely unarmed. Those were my last eggs, thought Naruto. If only I could get near him. Wait, I got it. Listen, guys, I need you to distract him as much as you can while I approach him unnoticed. Can you do it? Asked. I'll do my best, Naruto-kun. Fine. Okay, MMMPFH, what do you have in mind? Everyone began again to attack Gaara with range attacks, being the most effective the wind attacks from Tamari that Sasuke ignited with his Kadenjutsu, as the crystallized sand testified. Damn it. If we weren't in the desert, he wouldn't have an unlimited supply to refill the sand that we just pull, thought Tamari. Gaara was about to hit them when he was attacked from one side by Kuji, who used his multi-size no jutsu to increase the size and length of his hands and now was punching Gaara. Suten, Bakasuishoha, water release, exploding water shockwave, exclaimed Haku, releasing a stream of water from his mouth. The water made hit in Gaara, soaking and slowing his movement and created some water puddles that Hinata used to attack too. Suten, Tepodama, water release, gunshot, exclaimed the girl, turning the puddles into water bullets that attacked Gaara. Even Kuji and Hinata became stronger, thought Sasuke while he attacked Gaara with his last kunais. Unfortunately for Kankuro, the weapons of his puppets weren't very useful against Gaara in that state. Same happened with Shino's bugs. Fatso. Get out of the way, exclaimed Sai. Before Kuji could protest or do anything to Sai, he was caught by Shikamaru's shadow, that took him off the battlefield. Gaara was surprised by a stampede caused by a herd of ink bulls created by Sai. Gaara destroyed them with his sand attacks until one of them dodged the attack and jumped towards him. The drawing happened to be Naruto under a henge, who regained his true form while he jumped at Gaara. His friends noticed the blue orb that was taking form in Naruto's hand. Gaara. Forgive me. Rasengan, exclaimed while he slammed the sphere in Gaara's gut. The Tsunejin Chiriki was sent spinning several meters backwards, leaving a furrow in the sand. It's the attack that can turn the Kaiden against us, thought Neji. And Naruto-kun. You're amazing, thought Hinata. Naruto ran towards the knocked form of Gaara. They noticed that the monster-like armor was crumbling into pieces, revealing the youngest son of the Kazekage. Gaara. Gaara. Are you alright? Asked Naruto, concerned. Gaara opened his eyes and looked at Naruto. He no longer had the bloodlust look. Good idea, combining pain with foreign chakra. Naruto managed to break the genjutsu on Gaara. If it was not for the protection that the armor of the hybrid form, Naruto could have killed Gaara, but that's not the case, thought Shino. And Naruto. Quickly. Kill me, babbled Gaara. What are you saying? Asked Naruto. I'm losing consciousness. I don't want to kill you, said the redhead. Naruto looked puzzled at his friend, who didn't say anything else. Gaara? Gaara, exclaimed Naruto before he was grabbed from behind by Karasu, that drove him away from Gaara. Kankuro. What are you doing? Asked the catboy. We must flee from here. Gaara's seal is very unstable, he must keep awake all time to keep his demon at bay. We must be away from here until Gaara wakes, said Kankuro. The Konoha students looked horrified how the sand swirled around the unconscious form of Gaara. Tamari and Kankuro were terrified. They never expected to see again the creature that was taking form before. Sasuke used a Kaden jutsu in the sand mass and Haku tried to freeze it from another angle without success. Meanwhile Naruto, Hinata and Neji used the Hizashi, but their attacks only made holes that closed immediately. Tamari got near Naruto. Physical damage won't work, the only way to win is to awake Gaara as your future self did, said her. How did I awake Gaara that time? Asked Naruto, looking nervous at the gargantuan claws that were taking form. Well, you summoned that gigantic Dodand. Oh, crap, mumbled Naruto. What's going on? Is there a problem? asked Temari. Naruto looked with a face between amused and worried. Yes, I can't summon toads yet, said. The mass of sand grew bigger, until it had the same size as the city walls. They looked how arms with claws formed and how a tanuki head formed below Gaara. The kids watched with a mixture of horror and fascination how the sand eyes turned yellow and one of the Baijuas, Shukaku the one-tailed demon, was unleashed again in the world. The creature made a roar of victory. Tats Shukaku. Everyone's sweat dropped. It can't be. He is, thought Arashi, unable to finish the phrase. Kushina reminded when Naruto used the power of the Baijua sealed in him in their original timeline, a Jinchuriki, finished her. Arashi looked at Kirobai's now visible chakra. It took the shape of a humanoid bull with a pair of octopus tentacles as tails. I wonder what Baijua is sealed in him. According to Hashirama, Cloud received the Nibi and the Hichibi. That thing doesn't look like a cat, so I suppose that we are facing the Hichibi, thought Minato. Be careful, we don't know what degree of control he is over it, warned Kushina. It will be a good match. I never expected to find another Jinchuriki. We must warn him about Akatsuki as soon as we finish our combat. He can be an invaluable ally, thought Arashi smiling under his mask. Those from Suna and Konoha didn't look as confident as Arashi. At the moment they noticed Kirobai's chakra, they got on guard. What? It can't be. Raikage, your brother is, babbled the Hokage, recognizing Kirobai's nature. Yes, my little brother has a Baijua sealed inside him, the Hichibi. I'm very sorry, but you should tell your soldier to give up if he wants to survive. In that state Kirobai hardly holds back his attacks, commented the Raikage. That buffoon has a beast stronger than Shukaku? How can he control it? And why the Hokage and Arashi are not disturbed by this news? The masked blonde is smiling under his mask, thought. The Hokage smiled at his Cloud counterpart. Oh, you shouldn't worry about Arashi. He survived against the Kyuubi years ago and now he is stronger than ever. A weaker Baijua that is contained shouldn't be a problem for him, said the old man. Kirobai charged at Arashi at great speed, but the blonde dodged him and countered with a Hizashi. The Afrogen Shuriki dispelled the chakra ray with a growl and countered with a punch, extending his chakra arm, but Arashi dodged it. He didn't seem surprised. Among the memories that Kushina shared with her husband were the combats where Naruto used the fox's power, including his fight against Orochimaru after the time skip. Minato hated to see what he did to his son, but watched them a lot of times after Naruto killed those missing nins. If Naruto got out of control again, it was his duty and only his to stop him without harm. For that reason he needed to know how to fight him. Kage Bunshine no Jutsu, exclaimed the blonde while some clones appeared to help him. The clones attacked, throwing kunais with explosive tags attached. A succession of explosions were heard hundreds of meters away, but Kirobai's chakra cloak protected him from any harm. That's superior to Gaara's sand armor, thought the Suna ninjas. Have you finished, Blondie? Now's my turn, responded Kirobai. With a surprising speed, he got at Arashi's side and responded with a punch that sent 10 meters backwards. Arashi dispelled in a cloud of smoke. I thought that he was the real one, commented Kirobai while he looked at the other clones. The spectators and the Kiges had similar thoughts. If that clone didn't switch with me on the last second, Kirobai would have broken my neck, thought Arashi. Yes. It was a strike of luck that we discovered that the enhanced Kawarimi takes less chakra when you use it with your own clones or when they use it with you, commented Kushina. Agree with that, but still takes too much chakra to use it with the frequency I would desire. However, your idea to make the clones protect the real me with the jutsu is fantastic, Kushi-chan, responded Minato. Don't call me that while we are fighting, responded her between giggles. Before they could react, Kirobai grew a third tail and attacked Arashi and his clones with higher speed. Using the tails as extra weapons and elongating his limbs, he managed to destroy all the clones until only the real Arashi was left. He tried to impale Kirobai with his wind blades, but the chakra cloak was now stronger and repelled Arashi's weapon. Kirobai delivered a chakra-enhanced punch to Arashi's gut, sending him dozens of meters backwards. The blonde didn't move. Kirobai made a winning pose with the tail swinging in a ridiculous way. Ha! That will show him to not mess with the man, baby, proclaimed. I'm not defeated yet, said Arashi, getting up, with a hand on his gut. Arg. I feel like I was impaled with a sword in flames. How can he endure being enveloped by that chakra? He should be screaming from the pain, but he seems to have complete control over his Baijuo. That's impossible, taught Minato. We should ask him after the battle. Share the pain with me, suggested Kushina. No, I won't let you suffer because my recklessness. Don't worry, this won't last long, responded him. Kushina didn't say anything. After the dinner with the Hyugas, they found out that she and Minato could share his sensations, including pain. He also could let Kushina take partial control of his body, but they decided to not use that feat in combat yet. A part of her didn't like how Minato wanted to protect her from his pain, another part accepted Minato's attitude, it made her feel beloved. Arashi looked at Kirabai in a defying pose. "Okay, I'll show you one of my best techniques. First gate, open," exclaimed. Everyone felt the spike of chakra from Arashi. Kirabai smiled, things were getting more and more exciting. "Ah. My youthful second rival will use the gates against my new friend. It will be a match that we will remember forever," exclaimed Guy while Arashi opened the second gate. "I forgot that Naruto's dad could use that technique. By the way, where is him? He would love to see his father fight like this," thought Kiba at the opening of the third gate. Yay! His jacket opened completely. He is showing his torso again. Wait, I shouldn't have these thoughts about Naruto's father, thought Ino, Sakura and Tenten at the same time. At the moment the fourth gate opened, Arashi and Kirabai charged at each other and began to deliver blows, at least from Arashi's side. The blonde's attacks were more precise than Kirabai's and his speed let him all dodge all Kirabai's blows. On the bad side, Arashi's attacks didn't seem to affect his opponent, who only would needed a pair of hits to defeat Arashi. Arashi summoned a group of clones that managed to hit Kirabai from behind and sent him upwards while the real one distracted him. Then the clones charged flying at Kirabai, hitting him in the air and making sure that he wouldn't touch the ground again. The Raikage observed how Arashi handled his younger brother. "Good strategy, although my brother is stronger than him, he can't fly. As long as Arashi manages to keep Kirabai in the air he will have the advantage. It could work with any opponent, even a Kage, but this won't work against an opponent that you can't harm." Wait, the original one left the attack, closed the gates and summoned more clones. What does he have in mind? Thought the cloud leader. The original Arashi handed some tags to his new clones, who proceeded to write something in them. Then he took a scroll from his cloak and unwrapped it. In the scroll was written a very complex seal, nothing compared to what was seen in storage scrolls. "I brought this just in case I had to face Gaara. I never thought I would have to use it against the cloud version of Guy. I didn't want to show it, but my most lethal techniques would kill him," thought. "Don't worry about that. Techniques must be used when needed, risking your life because you don't want to show them is foolish," said Kushina. Meanwhile, Kirabai grew a fourth tail. He managed to plant two of them in the ground and with his new support attacked and destroyed the clones that were attacking him. "You are very powerful, but you have not chance against Funjutsu, one of my clan's specialities," said Arashi without taking his eyes from the scroll while he focused his chakra into the seal. "What are you going to do? You can't seal my partner because he is already sealed in me," remarked Kirabai. "He sees his Baijuyu as a comrade? Perhaps this must be his secret," thought Kushina. Everyone watched in anticipation, wanting to see what Arashi will do. Kirabai was not stupid and charged at Arashi before he could finish what he wanted to do, but it was too late. The head of the Uzumaki clan looked at him. "Funjutsu not only works to seal things, it can be used to transform chakra. Makuten Haijutsu, Jukai Katan. Wood release secret technique, birth of dense woodland," exclaimed. A great tree emerged from the scroll with a tremendous clamor, its branches wrapped around Kirabai and his tails, immobilizing him. He tried to break the branches but he was unable to do it. Now that he was completely immobilized, Arashi's clones charged at him and placed the suppression seals they were working meanwhile over all Kirabai's body. The seal activated at the moment they touched Kirabai, making the Hachibi's chakra and features disappear from Kirabai's body. Arashi looked panting at the scroll, now without the seal. It worked. Baijus have difficulty breaking trees created by wood chakra. If it was not for that fact I couldn't have placed the suppression seals, thought. He got near Kirabai and removed the seal that he had on his mouth. "Do you surrender?" asked. "Arghh. You censored." "That hurt," exclaimed the Jinchuriki. Sorry. Do you surrender?" asked Arashi in a polite tone. "Alright. You win. Now get me out of here," exclaimed Kirabai. "Great. Why don't we go to have some drinks to make amends?" "My treat," said Arashi. Everybody was speechless, including the Hokage. What sort of ninjas do they have in Konoha? I thought that the Makuten disappeared with the first Hokage, thought the Kazekage. It was one of Hashirama's techniques. Minato mentioned chakra transformation? I never imagined that Funjutsu could be used for that, thought Sarutobi. He defeated my little brother suppressing the Hachibi? We must include this man in the bingo book as soon as we come back home, thought the Raikage. Naruto's dad is really powerful, No wonder why he turned so strong, thought Naruto's classmates. Most ninjas noticed something strange. Why they were still feeling demon's chakra with the Hachibi suppressed. They noticed that the source was in the other side of the village. People from Suna recognized the chakra source. "Shukaku is free," exclaimed one of them. Arashi had a bad feeling and headed to the other side of the village. Most ninjas headed there too. "Hey! Don't let me trapped here," exclaimed Kirabai. With Naruto, Konoha students and the Sand siblings were paralyzed by fear at the vision of one of the Baijuas unleashed. Naruto has to live with one of those things inside him? Thought Sasuke. Damn, I'm low of chakra, thought Haku. Even Naruto is shaking, thought Hinata. Bastard. Free Gaara, roared Naruto while he charged at Shukaku while his eyes turned red with slitted pupils. What happened next was so violent and surreal that was censored by the parental associations, the same that deleted some of the scenes of the anime in Western countries. I can say that it ended with Shukaku temporarily incapacitated. After seeing Naruto's stunned, the kids regained the bravery and took advantage of Shukaku's temporal incapacity to make a plan. "We must awake Gaara, it will take out Shukaku," said Temari. "I have a technique that can help, but I'll need help to reach Gaara and someone will have to distract the monster," said Naruto while he swallowed a soldier pill. "Okay, I just conceived a plan that could work," said Shikamaru. After some quick explanations, they divided in groups and attacked Shukaku from different sides. Shukaku recovered from Naruto's attack and glared at the insects who dared to attack him. "I'm going to kill ya," roared Neji. Shikamaru and Kuji distracted the Tanuki by the front with the Hyuga genius attacking with the Hizashi, the waves of sand that got too near from them. Hinata and Haku attacked Shukaku's tail with the Hyuga girl reusing the water created by Haku for his jutsus. They were lucky that there were only a few minutes since dawn and the climate was still fresh from night, so it was easier to use Suten jutsus. Temari and Sasuke attacked Shukaku's eyes, taking advantage of Temari's long-range attacks and igniting them with Sasuke's Kaden jutsus. Kankuro and a group of Naruto's clones focused in Shukaku's right arm while Shino and another clone group did the same with the left one. "I'll have to use them. I didn't have time to make the final tests, but this is the perfect chance to prove my new inventions," thought Kankuro. He took his scroll and unsealed 2 new puppets. One looked like a jackal, another like a vulture. With the other 3, Kankuro was now controlling 5 puppets at the same time. He noticed that Shino was looking at him surprised and looked back with a smirk. "My new puppets have their own abilities, but they would be useless against Shukaku." There's also the problem that handling various puppets at the same time derives into worse control and less performance for each one, but I conceived the perfect solution for that, said Kankuro. In a spectacular process, all Kankuro's puppets disassembled into pieces and recomposed into a single and huge humanoid puppet that looked like a mixture of the other ones. Kankuro then attacked Shukaku's claw with his superpet, that managed to cut one of Shukaku's fingers with a great sword that probably was part of one of the new puppets. "It looks like those robots from the TV shows," thought a Naruto clone fascinated. "Surpass that," thought the puppeter looking at Shino. It looked like Shino heard Kankuro's dare. He released all his bugs at the same time and make them cover all his body. "It's time to use my secret technique, the one I created after seeing Kiba fusing with Akamaru to turn into a 2-headed dog," thought the Aburame while he performed some hand signs. "Aburame's secret art, insect battle armor," exclaimed. Shino was covered in a smoke cloud. When it dispelled, he was covered from head to toes by battle armor that seemed to be made from insect shells. The arms had chitin claws and the legs looked very aerodynamic. "This armor enhances my strength, speed, senses and gives a very good protection. It also has some special abilities that will be very useful in the battle," explained Shino. The Aburame then moved at great speed towards Shukaku, dodging the Tanuki's attacks with ease. Then he made an impressive jump and cut another Shukaku finger using the claws from his armor. And now Shino looks like one of those superheroes from TV shows who fight monsters who really are guys in rubber outfits, thought Naruto's clones. "You are not the only one with new tricks," thought Shino looking at Kankuro before resuming his attack. The rivals then proceeded to attack Shukaku's arms with efficiency while the Naruto clones looked in awe. After the last display, everyone attacked with renewed energies. Temari summoned a group of Kama Itachis, weasels with scythes, who attacked Shukaku's eyes with Sasuke reinforcing their attacks with more fire. Haku and Hinata kept focusing in Shukaku's tail, now with Haku turning Hinata's water bullets into ice projectiles. At the front, Neji kept using his father's attack in Shukaku. The Tanuki's belly now looked like a strainer, but the monster reacted and created a sand claw that grabbed Shikamaru. Then, surprising everybody, Kuji grew until he was 6 meters tall and attacked Shukaku's hand, destroying it and freeing Shikamaru. The Nara noticed at his friend's feet the infamous box with the colored pills. It lacked the green one and half of the yellow one. This explains why he managed to fight so hard previously. I can't let him consume any more, thought Shikamaru. However, his attention focused for an instant in the groups of Naruto's clones who were assisting Kankuro and Shino. One of the clones was holding a kunai while other clone was forming a blue orb in the kunai's tip. What? Is it what it appears to be? Thought the Nara. Yes, it was. The clone finished to form a perfect Rasengan in the kunai's tip. The clone who was holding the kunai looked at Shukaku. Feel, my new technique. Kunai Rasengan, exclaimed while he threw the kunai with the Rasengan to Shukaku. The kunai made hit and destroyed Shukaku's right hand. Something similar happened with the other group of clones in the left hand of the monster. No matter what timeline we are, Naruto. You keep being the most astonishing ninja I ever saw, thought Shikamaru with a smirk. Bastards. You'll pay for that, screamed the monster. Shukaku tried to reconstruct himself using the desert's sand, but he felt a strange force that opposed his efforts. I won't let you hurt them, said a voice. It was Gaara. The boy was in a state between consciousness and unconsciousness, trying to repress the demon and giving the other kids the chance to attack. Stupid boy. Don't dare to oppose me and let me kill them, yelled the monster enraged. Meanwhile, the real Naruto and Sai, who were flying over the battlefield on one of Sai's ink birds, saw that. Gaara is fighting against the monster too. I can't fail with this, thought Naruto while he finished the technique that he was preparing while the others fought. It's done. Sai, place me the closest possible from Gaara, exclaimed. Roger. Be careful, Naruto, said Sai. Naruto jumped to the almost conscious Gaara with his palm open and some strange symbols in the tip of his fingers. Gaara, I'm sorry, but this will hurt. Funjutsu, Kogyo Fun, 5 elements seal, said while he slammed his hand in Gaara's gut, messing with his chakra. What? No, exclaimed Shukaku, realizing that his link with Gaara was broken and began to melt in the sand he was made. Sai tried to catch Naruto and Gaara, but Shukaku managed to do a last attack to Sai's bird before his face disappeared in the sand. The root spy couldn't react on time and the bird was destroyed in an ink explosion, letting his riders falling to the ground. But a pair of blurs catch Naruto, Gaara and Sai in the middle of their fall. Sai noticed that he was being grabbed by Shino, whose insect armor also seemed to include a pair of working wings under the scarab shell in the back. Naruto and Gaara were caught by Kankuro's puppets, that was using the vulture's wings to fly. Shino and the puppet landed safely, the others rushed towards them, not believing that they managed to defeat Shukaku. Since my father came back, it looks like everyone is learning to fly. We defeated a Baijuu, it's incredible. Man, I'm so tired, but Gaara is safe, thought Naruto, realizing the quantity of chakra he used. The last thing he saw before falling unconscious was his father and other ninjas running towards him. While they headed towards the other side of Suna, Arashi and the others felt the gargantuan mass of chakra. This is no good. Where's Naruto? The memories of the clone I sent to the hotel said that he is not there, thought Arashi. He must be looking for a good place to eat ramen. He will be alright, said Kushina, trying to believe her own words. I hope so, responded Arashi. Unfortunately, their delusions proved to be wrong when they finally arrived at their destiny. Kushina recognized the creature that Naruto fought during Orochimaru's invasion. It was at the same time one of her worst and best memories about the Naruto of that timeline. Until that fight she never feared for his life as she did before. She was afraid when Mizuki tried to kill him. Same happened when he fought Zabuza and Orochimaru. But the monster that was destined to be Suna's secret weapon during the invasion excelled everything Naruto fought before. However, her son swallowed the fear and fought Gaara with a skill and bravery that she never saw before, especially when he summoned Game Abunta and, against all odds, managed to defeat a waking Gaara. After that fight she didn't fear for Naruto's life because she knew that he would survive until he achieved his dream. Now a similar scene was happening in Suna's outskirts. They managed to see how Naruto jumped from Sai's bird and slamming his fingers in Gaara's gut. Then, Shukaku dissolved into the sand he was formed, destroying Sai's bird. Lucky for them, they were saved by a strange puppet and a boy who looked dressed in an insect-like armor. Arashi rushed towards the group of kids. He noticed that they looked very tired. Obviously they intervened in the battle too, but all his focus was on his son. Naruto. Are you alright? What happened? Asked. He is alright. He just overused his chakra, said the boy in the armor. Shino? Asked Arashi, estranged. The Aburame nodded, His armor turned into a swarm of bugs that disappeared into his coat. I almost forgot that Shino was about to take the Jonin test when we were sent to this time. I shouldn't be impressed for him having a technique like this, but I am. Perhaps I could convince him to do some special missions in my place now that he can fly, thought the X-Gage. Can anybody explain us what happened here? Asked the Hokage. Yes, we would like to know that. What's that thing about Juo? Asked the Raikage. It's a long story, but first we should go to the hospital. Naruto is not the only who needs medical attention, said Shikamaru. Hinata, Haku, Sasuke and Kuuji were barely able to keep standing, especially the Akamiki who was now feeling the drawback of the pills he took for the fight. Hiyashi took Hinata before she collapsed to the ground. She used a lot of chakra. I never saw her in this shape. What happened here? Thought concerned. Unfortunately, the Raikage and his bodyguards were there, so he had to keep the facade of being a branch member concerned for his mistress and not a worried father. Kuuza recognized the effects of the pills on his son and took him immediately to the hospital, without waiting for the others. While Lee took Haku on his shoulders to bring him to the hospital, Sasuke was almost tackled by Sakura and Ino. Sasuke-kun. Are you alright? Asked the girls. I'm fine, just a bit tired, said the boy before collapsing in Sakura's arms. Take this, Ino pig. Sasuke hugging me, exclaimed inner Sakura while the real one blushed like Hinata when she was near Naruto. Most Suna ninjas thought that it was a good chance to get rid of Gaara when they noticed how in bad shape he was. But his siblings made them change their opinion. Temari and her summons placed themselves between them and Gaara while Kankuro disassembled his giant puppet into the 5 puppets that formed it. What? When did they got that power? Temari shouldn't be able to summon any weasel able to fight yet unless Temeni. Most Jonins are unable to do it. And Kankuro can control 5 puppets at the same time? And where did he got the jackal and the vulture? Thought the Kazekage looking at their children. Kankuro took Gaara on his shoulders and headed to the hospital. Temari crossed looks with her father and the other ninjas and followed her brothers. What intrigues me more is why are they protecting Gaara? I should keep an eye on them, thought the Kazekage. His glance crossed with Arashi's who was heading to the hospital with Naruto on his arms. I'll keep an eye too, and the Uzumakis. I expected that the Black Angel and Konoha would seek retribution for his son's death at Gaara's hands. That would have given me an excuse to get rid of Gaara, handing him to Master Sasori to extract Shukaku without questions from the council. Then I would have given Gaara's corpse to Arashi, thought the Kazekage. He looked at the Konoha students. Who would have thought that the Uzumaki kid and his friends could defeat Shukaku? Temari and Kankuro intervened in the battle too. Perhaps I could take advantage of this, thought the Kazekage. The Raikage and the bodyguards followed them, trying to not attract too much attention. The cloud leader looked at the Konoha students, especially the boy in Arashi's arms. Yes, the boy is his son, there's no doubt about it. As his father, he also defeated a Jinchuriki who was using the power of his Baijuo. True, he didn't do it alone, he had his friends and the Kazekage's children, but it was obvious that he was crucial in the battle, thought the cloud leader. He noticed the way the Hyuga boy was looking at him. I forgot about the disaster that my predecessor organized years ago with the Hyugas. Their leader, Hiyashi, killed the man who was trying to kidnap his daughter, and he had to sacrifice himself to prevent a war. This among others was one of the reasons because nobody cried when I killed the former Raikage and took his seat. With Hiyashi's brother here, this is perfect time to start my plan concerning the Hyugas, thought. They arrived at the hospital. The receptionist looked shocked when she saw that the demon boy, Gaara, needed medical care. The looks from the San siblings and her survival instincts told her to not trammel in Gaara's admission. Naruto, Hinata, Haku and Sasuke only had some bruises and minor cases of chakra exhaustion, nothing that wouldn't be resolved after a day of rest. Kuuji was in worse condition. The 1.5 pills he took during the battle strained his body severely. Fortunately his life was not endangered, but he would have to spend 2 weeks in observation with diet rich in proteins, something that he would enjoy when he wake up, indeed. Gaara was the most wounded of all. The medics reported that he multiple wounds caused by kunais. But what stranged them more were the abrasions and internal wounds that were not seen since the last ninja war, when the young ninja who later would be known as the Yellow Flash ravaged Konoha's enemies with a chakra sphere. The medics also reported about the seal that was put over Gaara's, preventing the sand shield to attack them. The adults looked at kids who were conscious, waiting for a response. Shikamaru sighed. Having the best memory and analytical could be a drag sometimes. How troublesome. All started yesterday when we found Naruto talking with Gaara, said. The Nara told the adults when they saw Naruto talking to Gaara and offering him his friendship, skipping the part where Naruto told Gaara that he was also a Jinchuriki. Then came the part when they found Gaara trying to kill Naruto and they realized that he was under a genjutsu. Shikamaru described the battle in a detailed way, describing what each one did during the battle. The Raikage and the Kazekage found very interesting the special tags that Naruto created and asked Arashi if he created it. No, they are not. The speed increasing tags are an original idea of Naruto and he created them himself, said Arashi proudly. Shikamaru continued the story, describing how Naruto managed to free Gaara from the genjutsu but then they had to fight against Shukaku. After the funny part where Naruto almost neutered Shukaku, Shikamaru described the plan that they used to seal the Tanuki again in Gaara, with the others giving extra details about the battle. Everyone was speechless when he finished, especially when Hisashi confirmed that Shikamaru and the others were telling the truth. They saw the end of the battle anyways, there was no reason to not believe them. So, a group of kids, most of them still academy students, managed to defeat a Baijuo, commented the Raikage in awe. This generation of will be the strongest ever seen in Konoha, thought the Hokage smiling. Why had to lost that wonderful and youthful battle? Complained Lee with tears on his eyes. Kiba and Tenten had similar thoughts, they didn't know what they would have done in the battle but they would have done their best. Ino and Sakura were giving thanks for not being present in the battle but then they felt ashamed of themselves and vowed to be as brave as their friends. The Kazekage looked calm, but the truth was that he was furious. Those pesky kids wrecked his plans. Not only that, but the rumors of a bunch of Konoha students defeating the Shukaku would increase Konoha's fame towards the potential clients. He should make sure to spread a version of the story where Temari and Kankuro did most of the battle, ignoring the parts with the leaf nins. However, his main worry was now Gaara awakening. If Sun tells that he was the one who put him under a genjutsu, he would have problems trying to convince the Hokage that he had nothing to do about an attempt in the life of a citizen from Konoha. Hisashi felt proud of his daughter. She was able to surpass the fear that obviously she felt and fought with bravery against the Baijuo using the water jutsus that she learned during last months. Letting her blossom by herself without pressures proved to be a great idea. Shikaku and Kwuze also felt very proud of their sons. Shikaku was very glad but a bit intrigued to see that Shikamaru was able to act like a professional ninja. Perhaps he should make him a test to determine his IQ. Kwuze was a bit mad with his son for using the pills but also very proud for the way he protected his friends. Wait a minute. Did you say that Naruto formed a Rasengan in the tip of a kunai and then he threw it? Asked Arashi surprised. All the kids nodded. Naruto found a way to improve the Rasengan, turning it into a range attack. True, in the future he will do the same with the Rasen Shuriken, but doing it with a kunai is something that I can't guess. How he did it? Thought Minato. Just ask when he wake up. You should be happy for how he stood for Gaara yesterday, for his victory and the way his friends helped him in the fight, because I am, said Kushina. Sorry, Kushi-chan. I am very proud of our son, I just regret not witnessing his fight and seeing the progress he made during last months. I should give him a reward, responded Minato. I have something perfect in mind, but you'll have until the end of the Chunin exams to give it, said her. Minato looked at Gaara's room. Naruto just gave me the perfect excuse to take a look at Gaara's seal and fix it, thought. His gaze turned to the Sanninins. I think I should check Gaara's seal, to make sure that the seal that Naruto put on him works without any problem. That seal was put in the middle of a battle and we can't be sure that it will keep the Shukaku at bay, said Arashi. The Kazekage was about to refuse but his children took the word. We'd be very grateful, Uzumaki-san. Your intervention will help to keep Suna safer and if it helps our little brother to sleep, then much better, said Temari. Yes, my daughter is right, but you should make your check when Gaara is healed and awake. I'll make an investigation to find who's behind the genjutsu that affected Gaara. Who could have done it? There must somebody trying to interfere in the alliance between Konoha and Suna, said the Kazekage. You are right, your son must be in the best shape possible for the check. Perhaps at the end of the exams Arashi will be able to see Gaara without risk, agreed the Hokage. Perfect. They took the bait. And because I'm the one who made the assumption of the political saboteur and had the idea of the investigation, nobody would suspect on me. I just got another idea to get rid of Gaara. I'll put it into action as soon as possible, thought the Kazekage. The Sand sibling looked at their father stranged, he seemed too concerned for Gaara, they should keep him in check. I have a question, said Shino. The adults looked at him. Why nobody came before? The chakra that was unleashed in the battle should have alerted everyone in Suna, deducted the Aburame boy. The adults told them about the battle between Arashi and Kirabai and how the Cloud Jonin used the power of his Baijuo in the battle, obviously overwhelming their senses and making impossible to feel the weaker Shukaku. 3 Jinchurikis in the same place? Perhaps we should tell Sand and Cloud about Naruto and try to form an alliance against the Akatsuki, thought Shikamaru. They noticed that the Raikage felt a bit uneasy. Is there something wrong, Raikage-san? Asked the Hokage. It's nothing, I just feel that I forgot to do something, said the Cloud leader. It was almost night when Naruto woke up. He found himself in a hospital room with the only company of his father. Hello son, you know, if you want to be Hokage you should try to not end your greatest battles in a hospital room, joked Minato while he ruffled Naruto's hair. Yeah, I overdid a little, but it was a great fight, responded Naruto with a smile until he realized something. What happened with Gaara? And the others? Asked worried. Gaara is fine, you managed to reseal Shukaku and now he is resting after the medics healed him. Before we leave soon I'll remove the 5 elements seal you place and then I'll fix his seal, said Minato. How are Hinata-chan and the others? Asked more calmed. Hinata-chan is resting in the next room with her father looking after her. Kuji has just been placed into another room after it was confirmed that his life was not endangered anymore, thanks to the drinkable version of our clan's secret medicine, said Minato. Are you talking about the one you told me weeks ago? Whispered his son. Yes, that one, responded Minato. Flashback: Minato took Naruto to a room of their house that looked like an apothecary's shop. Naruto, what I'm going to show you today is our family's greatest secret, nor the Hokage is aware of it and you'll know why, said Minato in a very serious tone. Naruto looked at his father with attention. Minato began to mix some herbs in the mortar. You know that our blood limit has 2 powers, don't you? Asked to his son. Yes, the first one is that we heal very fast and the second one is that our healing is total, without scar or sequels from the wounds, said Naruto. Minato nodded. Yes, but it has 2 other qualities that I didn't mention to anyone. The first one is an effect of the perfect healing. At the moment our bodies reach adulthood they stop aging until we are very old, our 70s or 80s. At that point our blood limit fades and we begin to age in an accelerate rate, until our bodies are as old as they should be. Our ancestors named that process as the twilight. Most of our familiars chose to seek for a heroic death on a mission and die when still in their prime instead of suffering the decay of old age, explained Minato. Naruto was speechless. That means that you will keep looking like this when you get 60 years old? Babbled. Minato nodded. Yes, but don't be afraid of it, we don't live longer than other people, we just have a very long youth. The reason because it must be kept in secret is very obvious, people would be too jealous of us, said Minato. Naruto didn't look very excited about that. Does it mean that if mom lived she would get old while you keep young? Asked concerned. Kushina smiled. That was the same question that she had in mind when Minato revealed her that secret. Her concern didn't last when Minato told her the other secret as he was going to do with Naruto now. Minato denied Naruto's question with his head. There's a solution for that problem, it is related to the other secret of our blood limit, said while he finished to smash the herbs. Then Minato made a cut on his hand and let the blood fell over the mixture of herbs. The secret power of our blood limit is that we can share it with others to a point. The healing powers are inside our own blood. If we apply our blood in someone else's wound, it will heal at the same rate as ours and without scars or other sequels. Even more, if our blood is applied on someone's wrinkles or scars, it will erase them and those who drink drops of our blood with some regularity won't age, with enough uses they will even rejuvenate, said Minato seriously. Naruto paled, trying to digest the revelations. Minato finished to mix the blood with the herbs. Your great-grandmother had the idea of an ointment that would mask the scent of our blood so we could use it in our allies without revealing the secret, making everybody believe that it is just a family medicine, explained Minato showing Naruto the ointment. It is the same medicine that you give Iruka-sensei for his training isn't it? Asked Naruto. Minato nodded. Yes, it is. This medicine is the reason why he is completely fine after his rough training sessions. I warned him to keep it away from his nose so it won't erase his scar and endanger our secret, said Minato. Naruto didn't say anything, but he was happy to know that he could share part of his power with his friends. Minato showed him a bottle with a strange liquid. We also have a liquid version that can be drank or injected for internal wounds, I'll tell you how to make it later. Naruto, you must keep this secrets only for yourself, that you can't say it to anybody nor your friends nor the Hokage. The only person you are allowed to tell this is your wife, after your wedding. The consequences if these secrets are exposed to the public would be disastrous, told Minato. Why it is so important to keep it secret? It is not something to be ashamed of and people would find it very valuable, reasoned Naruto. That's the point. The council and the rest of the village would find us too valuable to risk our lives on mission while we could be producing a medicine as powerful as this, and we would be destined to drain ourselves. This if only they find out about the healing properties, explained Minato. Naruto shaked at the thought. His father continued to explain his reasons. If the wrinkle-removing properties are discovered, Fire Country's nobles would ask Konoha for a permanent contract using our blood as beauty cream to keep looking young. We would be ordered to work exclusively in that purpose. Forgot about your ninja career, said Minato. I don't want to work in aesthetic the rest of my life for a bunch of old hags, complained Naruto. This is nothing if they find out about the rejuvenation properties. Many nations started wars because the ambition of their rulers. The daimyos and other nobles would find fine to go in a war against Konoha if the prize for victory is eternal youth, said Minato. He reminded Orochimaru's dreams of immortality. With their blood the snake Sannin would have immortality and wouldn't need to change body, keeping the most powerful one he could get. We wouldn't feel ourselves safe anymore. The attempts to capture us would be our daily basis. The worst part is that many of people from our own country would be behind them. If we get captured, probably we would be the rest of our lives chained in a bed with a tube drains our blood to maintain our kidnappers while we receive forced feeding to replenish our blood, said Minato. You are going to scare him, exclaimed Kushina. He must be aware of the consequences if this secret is aired, Kushi-chan, reasoned Minato. I understand. I would have loved to tell this to Hinata-chan and the others, but you are right. Okay, I won't tell this to anyone, said Naruto. You can tell it to Hinata if you marry her, suggested Minato. Dad, exclaimed Naruto. And flashback, what about the rest? Asked Naruto. Shino, Shikamaru, Temari and Kankuro are fine. Remember that they are in reality experienced ninjas from the future. Sai came back to the sharing a room with Haku, with Kakashi and Zabuza looking after them, explained Minato. Kakashi and Zabuza are here? I thought they were in Konoha, said Naruto. They were. The Hokage called the rest of the Hand of Death squad, so I teleported back to Konoha and brought them there. The Hokage told me that Bear was already in Suna under a disguise and Yamato is guarding this room's door, explained Minato. Naruto felt relieved for his friends, but he found strange that the Hokage called his father's squad. Why they are here? I understand that Kakashi and Zabuza came for Sasuke and Haku. I don't understand why the others came too. Asked after we found out that somebody used a genjutsu and Gaara to kill you, the Hokage decided to bring the squad here and stay on guard if the enemy decides to strike again. I bet that it was an Akatsuki member. It is the best course of action, especially now that we found that there's a third Jinchuriki in Suna, explained Minato. A third Jinchuriki? Who is him? Asked Naruto, excited, hoping to make a new friend. Minato explained Naruto the night out with the other Konoha nins and the consequent duel versus Kirabai at the other side of the village, explaining why nobody appeared during their fight against Gaara. When Minato finished, Naruto was full of questions. I knew that Funjutsu was powerful, but not to the point to able to transform chakra. That means that you can use Makuten like you had the bloodline, commented Naruto. It is not as strange if we take account that your own seal transforms Kyuubi's into yours. However, 2/3 of the chakra I used in that attack was spent in the transformation of the chakra required to create the 3 transformations without the specific bloodline implied uses prohibitive amounts of chakra, and that's not the only drawback it has, explained Minato. What are the others? Asked Naruto. First, each seal must be created for a specific jutsu and it will only perform that jutsu. Second, the seal disappears after it is used. And third, the seal are too complex to be made in the field. The chakra transformation is a powerful tool, but it doesn't have the efficiency and versatility of someone with the emulated bloodline, said Minato. The ex-Kage looked at his son with a more serious face. Naruto, do you realize the feat that you and your friends did today? You managed to defeat a Baijuo. Last time I fought one I had to sacrifice myself and tried to say, but Naruto interrupted him. But Dad, we defeated the weakest one and Gaara was holding it back. You had to fight something more powerful without nobody holding it back, said Naruto. Perhaps, but it is still a battle that will be recalled for years. Now more eyes will be focused on us. My own battle didn't do anything to avoid that. By the way, I have a pair of questions about your battle, commented Minato. What do you want to know, Dad? Asked Naruto. Before Minato could respond, they heard a commotion from outside. The Kazekage has been abducted. The Kazekage has been abducted. The Kazekage? I must check this. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, exclaimed Arashi. The clone met the other members of the Hand of Death in the hospital's corridor. I'll go to check what happened. Yamato and Bear, go to guard the Hokage. Kakashi and Zabuza keep there to protect the kids. I suspect that this is one of our mysterious enemy's plans, said. The masked ninja nodded. The clone headed to the Kazekage's tower where he met the other ninjas from Konoha. What happened? Asked Shikaku. We are not sure about it, but it looks like a pair of men got into the tower, incapacitated the Kazekage and took him away, said the Nara. How they looked like? Asked Minato. Nobody could see their faces, they had straw hats covering their heads. They say that one was a hunchback and both of them were wearing cloaks with red clouds. Wait. Wasn't Itachi Uchiha dressed like that? Asked Shikaku. Akatsuki. But why they kidnapped the Kazekage? Asked the clone to himself. He headed to the place where the Hokage was signed. The bodyguards, Yamato and Bear, let him pass without questions. Hokage-sama, have you heard the news? Asked. Yes, Arashi. Suna is in a uproar. You said that they were going to move in a few years, but it looks like that they decided to bring forward their plans, commented the old man. Obviously Madara's doing. They took advantage of the crowds that came to see the Chunin exams to infiltrate into the village. They must be the ones behind the genjutsu used over Garl, but it doesn't make sense. They want Naruto alive for the QB, why try to kill him? Asked Arashi, worried. I don't know, I think that we should offer our help to Suna with the ninjas that obviously they will send to rescue the Kazekage. We have Tsume and Kakashi here, they and their dogs are among the top trackers in the world, said the Hokage. Somebody knocked at the door, the Hokage gave permission to enter, one of Konoha's Anbu got there and made a bow to each man. After making sure that nobody was hearing, he proceeded to tell his news. Sandaime-sama, Yondaime-sama. I came here to communicate that Suna's council has decided to declare state of emergency after the Kazekage's kidnapping. All gates will be closed immediately, nobody with the exception of the rescue team is allowed to leave Suna until the Kazekage is back alive or his death is confirmed. All foreigners are told to stay in their hotels if they don't want to be interrogated, said the ninja. Shit, it's the same as the time they kidnapped Gaara in the future. Do they want to trade Gaara for the Kazekage? Are they going to blame it on Konoha or Cloud? Thought the clone. I'll be in the hospital, tell me if something else happens, said the clone before dispelling himself. The real Arashi received the memories of the clone and told Naruto the news. Dad? We must check for Gaara, exclaimed Naruto. Arashi nodded and they headed to Gaara's room, that was in the last floor of the hospital. They found the unconscious form of Temari and Kankuro, they saw that the room was empty. What happened here? Where's Gaara? Asked Naruto. Flashback. Temari and Kankuro had heard from a nurse the news of their father's disappearance but refused to leave their place guarding their little brother's room. They suspected that it was a plan to make them leave Gaara unprotected now that he was vulnerable with the seal that Naruto placed on him. They noticed Baki heading to them. Greetings, Sensei. You are not trying to convince us to leave Gaara unprotected, don't you? We don't care about what happened to the Kazekage, our brother comes first, said Temari. I say the same thing, remarked Kankuro. You also care for your little brother? Touching, but Gaara will come with me, said Baki while his only visible turned red with 3 tomos. The Sharingan? Shit, babbled the Sand siblings before falling unconscious. Minutes later, a rescue mission led by Captain Uura and Baki left Suna to chase the kidnappers of the Kazekage. When they were far away enough from Suna, Sasori dispelled the henge that used on his puppets and himself to look like Suna ninjas while Baki did the same on himself, revealing Itachi Uchiha carrying the unconscious form of Gaara. Sasori looked at Uura. You know the plan. You head to meet the Kazekage and both of you come back to Suna tomorrow with the story of a battle against a group of missing nins that kidnapped him. Meanwhile we will be extracting the Shukaku without worrying about a rescue mission for the Jinchuriki thanks to the state of emergency in Suna, said the puppeteer. Uura nodded and headed to the rendezvous point with the Kazekage while Itachi and Sasori headed to the cave where the statue for the extraction was placed. End flashback. On their way to the cave, the Uchiha prodigy and the puppeteer, they met a pair of men who also wore Akatsuki cloaks. One was a very big tall man with blue skin, gills and a huge sword that was wrapped in bandages. He had a mist forehead protector with a slash. Anybody with an updated bingo book would recognize him as Hoshikage Kisame. The other man seemed to be in his late 40s, he had orange hair and a scar that crossed his father in diagonal. He was armed with a strange staff and had a slashed forehead protector from Konoha. Itachi looked at the newcomers. Oh, it's you, Kisame, said to his partner before looking at the other missing nin from Konoha. You must be Kakuzu's new partner, Kaori Ishida. Why are you there? Asked without emotions. The leader ordered us to assist you. It looks like someone has been following you from Suna at great speed, said Kisame. They found out the truth about our distraction plan? Who are them? Asked Sasori. Us, said a voice. The four Akatsukis looked at the source of the voice, at the top of a dune. They saw a group of masked ninjas standing there. They recognized them as Konoha's new top team, the Hand of Death. Hoshikage Kisame crossed looks with Momochi Zabuza. Zabuza, said Kisame unwrapping his Seimata. Kisame, responded Zabuza drawing his sword. Kakashi glared at Sugo with visible hate in his eye, shaking with rage, surprising his partners. He always was good keeping his cool. Sakumo, is that you? Asked Kaoru looking at Kakashi estranged. I'm his son, scum. Hatake Kakashi, responded the copy nin revealing his Sharingan eye. Ooh. The pup wants to avenge his daddy? Teased the other man. Minato, wasn't this man one of Sakumo's teammates, the ones he decided to save instead of completing the mission and later rejected him? Asked Kushina. Yes he is. He defected Konoha when I became Hokage, fearing that I would use my new position to take revenge for Sakumo if Kakashi asked me, said Minato. The former Kage looked at the missing nins. Handle us the boy and surrender to us or prepare to be executed, said Arashi. You are the only ones who will be executed, responded Itachi. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.